Welcome to the App Showcase, where we review Microsoft-related apps, primarily from the App Store, but also through trial versions. SV MacPack is a certified veteran-owned and hub-zoned consulting firm supporting primarily the U.S. federal government. In support of our customers' need to do market research on apps such as these, we started recording our review of these apps. We hope these reviews help you as well. In this video, we'll be reviewing a Kanban app, and in this time, it's going to be from Kalmstrom Enterprise AB. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. As always, I'm going to move fast, pointing out what I like and what would make me hesitate to recommend this app to my customers. My goal is to be as candid as I would be if just talking to my own team about this app. Hopefully the review helps you and perhaps even provides a good feedback to the publisher of this app. Let's go ahead and get started here on the Microsoft Store page for this app from this publisher. So just starting on the top left here, I noticed that they got 4.5 ratings, which looks good, with 11 ratings. That's not a lot, obviously. You can click on the number or get to the reviews to see how many actual reviews they have. That's always fun to see the comparison as you move forward. So they have 8 reviews. That's pretty good considering 11 folks that are in there. I always discount things like this. This 1-star doesn't work. You can't have that one and excellent product in the same zone. It makes me just wonder what's missing. So I need to look at that in our evaluation or review. We'll figure out whether it actually works, and then it's going forward. This is kind of interesting how all these reviews were 5 stars back around the same period. I'm assuming that's pretty much back when they dumped it out there. But going forward, these ones, it looked like they kind of revitalized it, and that's pretty good as they move forward. So these are good reviews. Sometimes they help you, but the part I like even more is the version count. It's really got a lot of updates. It makes me feel like they're doing update after update for their product. One thing that would be handy, and I'm just looking to see if I see it, I don't really see it. First off, this is really good because I always look for features, but I don't see something I've seen, I think, with Cicada that you get these little, every time there's a new version, they put in what they changed in there. I'm missing my word at the moment. But anyways, so that's pretty cool. They clearly are updating this a lot. I like how they're candid about additional purchasing may be required. And I noticed down here it says that you can use this for 30 days, and then you just have to get it registered. So that's pretty good. They're really trying to let you use it on your own. The last thing I really look for when I come to this column on the left is the support to see if they've got it. I'm going to open that in a new tab. This one's got a manual for the Kanban task manager, so that's pretty good. It's got it in, oh, that's great. Okay, so it's got an on-prem farm version or something and a SharePoint add-in for the app catalog. So this is perfect. It lets you really kind of learn what's going on. I'm not digging too far into it, but it's great that they have that actual user manual and as you pursue support. The other thing that's interesting when I come over here is looking at the different images they have. You know, in here you can begin to see just a general idea. I like this. This is good. My instinct is to wonder whether I can change some of the column headers or even get rid of some of them. Let's just go ahead and move forward and look at a couple of others. I can see that I can change the colors. That's great. I'm doing this initial evaluation of a tool, and I'm just kind of figuring out what's here. And clearly they've updated it recently, which is fine. I think it's excellent that they're doing that. This is interesting. I'm assuming the colors tie to what we do. I have color codes for certain things that I do, so that could come in really handy to just understanding what's there. What do we got here? So this is by person probably. Yep. So by person, we can see the activity. One of the things I look for on apps is how intuitive it is, and at the moment, it's pretty intuitive. Oh, this is neat. It goes into Excel, which, you know, it's not the most advanced thing, but the fact they even have these reports is something I wouldn't have expected from an app like this, and so this is great. So we'll take a look at that maybe because I think they have sample data. Anyways, that's the Microsoft Store page. Let's go ahead and look at this app inside of our activity. I got to make sure I remember which one is which. So it's not that one. It's not this. Let me go to my site contents really quick. Just reminding myself. So the Kanban Task Manager right here. That's the one. And I just uploaded these apps. I'm not clicking into any of them until I'm recording. That way you can see what I see. It's a rapid way for those of you doing market research or reviews to see what I see when it's coming up. So I'm clicking on it. It's putting in all the activity in the back. It's probably, well, it's telling us it's creating the list, which is great. So it's building the app basically in the background, which is fine. This kind of activity is really important when you're evaluating apps. How intuitive is it? How fast is it? How communicative is the app to the user? And so it told me what was going on, and I think that was great. Anybody want to help me with this? This is my favorite problem, and I still haven't made time to find out why when they load these apps does it split that whole sweep bar up. So we'll come back to that. Here it's giving me some good guidance. I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. But it's giving me good guidance. Right away, I see what I'm looking for. You know, you might want to create example data, and we can do a configuration page. It's not telling me this, but because I want to do this, I wanted to create the example data. So I'm going to do that really quick. But first, just down here, I noticed that it does have access to the manual if you need to, and you can also reach out to the support team. So really, that's their contact page, which is fine at the moment. So let's go ahead and create example data and see what happens. So the number of tasks I can create, so 50 is fine. They chose 50. I'll choose 50. I don't need to do anything special. My initial thing is really not trying to make it crazy on my evaluations of an app. It's just trying to see, does it look interesting enough for me to want to download it and actually do a couple hours evaluation? Because you have to evaluate an app before you put it into production, and then you're interfering with the project team's activities. So, okay, so we uploaded or added the sample data. One thing that I noticed that's missing is it did not return me back to that page that it was on, and that would have been nice to see. But if I just start from here, and that's fine now, and I take a look, the columns all make sense. Done, in progress, and started, and then here's on hold and deferred because of whatever reason. I'm assuming that's canceled. Okay, so I'm looking down, and I can sit there and see too that it's kind of assigned categories. This is making me feel like it's assigned to departments, which is great. Maybe there's a filter on that. I'm going to go ahead here and configure. I remember now when we first got there, it allowed us to go to the configuration page or go to create the sample data, and I'm assuming this is reports, statistics. Actually, let me click on that first to see if it is that reports page we saw. So far, it's meeting my expectation of intuitiveness. You know, for me, I'm not always looking for the best tool in the world. I'm looking for a tool that people will actually use. Kanban Task Manager reports ready. Let's go ahead and say yes. Here's I'm assuming it's opening up Excel. It is. And there you go. That's the stuff we saw earlier. So I'm not going into it. I know it's got a home, etc. But that's good. It's got the reports. I'm not really trying to expand for me, the Kanban tool, I didn't need it to have a report, but that was intuitive that led us to it. I would get rid of that word statistics and actually change that to reports because that's what's in the, that's the title of it, I think. So let's go ahead and configure this and see if we can figure it out. Okay, so we got colors for projects. That's what it's doing. And apparently here's the projects, and I'm going to create some new ones in a second when we do the demo. I'm not sure what these two mean, and I might need to look at it. Oh, time login, it probably allows me to log it on there. This is great, so you can sit there and decide what to show and hide on your Kanban board. I'm curious about a couple things. One is whether I can change the headers. So here's... yeah, I don't really see anything at the moment on that. Let me go see what a plus does for us. I was hoping I could get rid of like the deferred column. I don't actually believe in deferred, or like I don't need deferred or the other one. I would rather just hit cancel. I thought I hit plus and nothing happened. Oh, I see. Okay, put it down here. Oh, so I added a project. So let's call this a test project and enter. And I'm not sure how to change the colors. Oh, there you go. That's pretty neat. Okay, cool. So that was straightforward. I don't know what response. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm coming across. Took me a second to realize this. Maybe you guys saw it faster, but you got the tabs. They just weren't as intuitive to me. Okay, so phases. Perfect. Is it going to let me hide? Yes, it is. I can get rid of I can get rid of deferred and waiting on somebody else. This is great, though. This is perfect. So move close tasks. So this is pretty good. This is kind of reminds me of a Jira style tool. Let me go ahead and move it across to see what we got. So Neil McDonald, I guess I'm responsible for everything. Okay, so we can do again the activity if we wanted to. Can I move this up easily? How do I move this up? Wonder if this is unique. I hit 1 and I hit enter. Let's see what happens. Nothing really happens, so I'm curious on what's going to happen when I leave. And default values I don't really overly care about at the moment. You could, okay, so that's pretty straightforward on what they are. You could choose which project. So here I would say, what did I do? Didn't I just do one that was called You know what? I wonder if because I haven't saved, let me hit OK. If I didn't hit save, that project wasn't created yet. Maybe you have to go back. So, okay, good. So first off, I changed that, which is awesome. It allowed me to be able to get rid of the columns I don't use. The other thing is I want to just go back really quick to the projects or the default values and see if I can put that new project in that I have. There it is, test project. So it just wasn't created yet, and that's fine. I mean, you can get advanced where it's creating it real time, but at least I knew what to do. It was still intuitive. Okay, so here I can sit there and decide what I want to see. This is interesting. It's letting me see all the different projects based on what's in there. Although it doesn't let me click on it, that would be helpful, but I pretty much myself would just stay on the Kanban board. So let's see about moving things. I don't see any. Where's my in progress? So let's go here. We got to file the papers. We just move it over. That's really straightforward. It's easy. It moved. I wonder if it lets me open the task. There's the task I can open up. Okay, cool. So now it's letting me see the activity that's in here. This is a typical task list. I can see this right away. It's a SharePoint out of the box list. I don't fault it. I'm just identifying it. Got the basic information. That's fine. And so it's got swim lane for who's in there. Now, this will be the fun part for me. Let me go ahead and close this. It's interesting, actually. Let me change this back to not started because I don't see a save. Oh, there it is. Wow. I don't know, maybe this is normal, but I would have gotten rid of this because this entire bottom footer looks like a marketing piece, and I didn't realize there was a save there. I was just going to hit that, which then clearly didn't move it. So let me open this little guy again, change this to not started. I'll hit save. It should move it back there. That's intuitive and good. What if it's actually in the wrong one? Can I just drag it to legal? And let's see, did it change the thing from contracting to legal? Right there, the lane, it did. And I'm curious somewhere whether it lets me go in and change some of these titles, you know, so instead of lane, it's actually department, for example, but that's all fine. That stuff looks good. Now adding a new task. If I got a new task and I want to add it in, okay, this is pretty straightforward. Okay, one of my pet peeves is start me off in the field of a new item, but task, this stuff is all fine. I don't care about completed, signed, blah, blah, blah. This stuff is all fine because it doesn't really matter. I defaulted it to test projects, so that's showing up. It's not customers, it's contracts. This checklist is interesting. Oops, I hit a plus sign and I don't know what it is. That's funny. I hit a plus and I don't know what that does. Wonder if I have no idea what that is, but that's fine because I'm not trying to look at it at the moment. I'm going to hit save and see if it gets created. Where's contract? There's contracts. It's down there. It's under the test project. So I see it's contract related for all these different trip to India or test project, etc. So that's still pretty good. And if I was connected and had a picture, you'd probably see my picture in there. I'm assuming they're using the profile. That looks good. That's pretty handy to communicate to people. I think at the moment I might be done with this review in the sense that I would recommend that this is a good app to take a look at and download further. But I want to try searching. So let's go ahead and let's try Neil first off, see what happens. Okay, so it's showing me that, I'm assuming it's showing me this for, because it's in progress and it's assigned to me. But I don't know why it didn't show me all the rest. So it's searched on Neil, projects, priorities. Oh, 1 of 34 displayed. That's interesting. I wonder why not. Let's go ahead and try something else like legal. So it would be nice if the search actually did it on some of the fields as well. I don't think it's searching the fields. So here you could say who's responsible. Yeah, that part is not overly intuitive to me. I'm not quite sure what it's doing on the search, but otherwise it looks kind of fine to me. We added tasks. It's got the ability to search. We looked at some of this other stuff. This is people putting in due dates, which to me is completely the opposite of Kanban. But you know, if you got stuff in there, you can take a look at it. You know, if you found this valuable, it turns out everything is mine. Really, but I'm just looking for Kanban. Really, just in SharePoint, do I have the ability to move stuff back and forth? What would be nice, and I don't know if they have it or not, but it would be really nice if they actually had a way to, like an app part already built to do that. So let me see if I can get back to the app showcase really quick page, and I'll just see really quick if it's got a Kanban app part that I can add. So insert, go ahead and insert an app part or a web part. Kanban, I think that's the one I'm doing, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me put this underneath the site feed. In fact, let me get rid of the site feed. Okay, I'll put it there and I'll insert that app. We'll see what that looks like really quick and whether it's intuitive. One of the reasons I'm probably going to recommend this to just, and I don't mean recommend to buy, I just mean recommend to evaluate further to see if it actually fits against your needs, because it's really intuitive. If they've got a pretty significant user guide, now we're off to the races. This is fine. It basically, they just dump the app right inside the whole app page inside this web part area. Let me go ahead and exit out and see what it looks like. Okay, it's loading our Kanban page. No, this is fine. I mean, I could see this on a page by itself. I don't like this whole idea of having to scroll, so figuring that out. And then the other thing is this lingering column. You know, I would love to see if they're doing updates if they fix that. But anyways, I'm going to pause for a second and just say that as a recap, I'm recommending you download this app for a more thorough evaluation within your own organization. I hope you found this review useful as you evaluate various apps available to you and your organization. Please provide me with feedback in the comments. Let me know how I can make the App Showcase channel and these reviews more useful to you. Feel free to even suggest apps that we should review, and we'll work to get them on the schedule. Finally, if you found this review helpful, please share a note about it on one of the social media platforms. I'm your host, Neil McDonald with SV MacPack. I thank you for joining me today and hope you'll join me again for other reviews.